an instrument everybody loves.
Hey guys, welcome back to Angel of Arthos in VR, episode 6. Shout out to my Facebook group, Angels Future Tech VR. You guys are awesome. Anyway, if you like the video, leave a like and subscribe. We'll try to just make these videos get better and better, you know. Anyway, today we're going to be covering some upcoming games, one of which, Solaris, which is an arena shooter game that we're going to check out. We're also going to hear from the developers of that game and see what they have in store for us. Another upcoming game is The Walking Dead for the Oculus Quest. Okay, we're also going to hear from the developers on that. We're going to check out some of this talk about these new VR headsets, mainly the Lynx Headset. We also have a keynote address from Stallworth-Bey, the creator of the Lynx Headset. So, as always, enough talk. Let's jump into VR. Okay guys, if you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe. My videos aren't known to be the shortest, and that can be good and bad, but please leave a like and subscribe. So, First Contact Entertainment hit it big in 2018 with one of my favorite PSVR online shooter titles, which was Firewall 0 Hour. It offered a mix of arcade action with tactical realism, making it one of PSVR's best games. First Contact is going a slightly different route with this fast-paced action arena shooter, Solaris. Much hasn't been seen of Solaris, but from what I have seen and know about it to this point, it's exciting, making it one of my most anticipated upcoming Oculus Quest games.
When a round begins in Solaris and the countdown hits 0, it's on. 360-degree untethered gameplay with the Oculus Quest, respawning, fast-paced teleporters, weapon pickups. It's a blast. Solaris is an arena that is fabricated through a virtual space. When you shoot the wall in Solaris, you're going to see it digitize and kind of give a glitchy effect, and that's reminding you that this space you're in is completely virtual, and you are the athlete in the game. Expect to see really cool weapons like rocket launchers and grenade launchers. So when you walk over a weapon pickup, your weapon's going to transition to the weapon that you just picked up. At First Contact Entertainment, we really value sci-fi and love it. Our team works really hard to make our weapons feel cool and be effective. Visual cues within our weapons indicate when it's ready to fire. Expect to see a chutes and ladders type of gameplay where you have to coordinate how to get to the control point faster than the enemy does. The pinnacle of customization comes to our characters' helmets. The suits are one thing, but the helmets are where it goes to the next level. The player's helmet visor is projecting AR within a VR space. You don't necessarily need to focus on the visor all the time in each component. Over time, you're going to be able to absorb the messaging system that we've implemented into design, so it just kind of comes naturally. Working with Oculus has been great. They've been supportive across the board. The team received early Quest hardware to begin rapidly prototyping Solaris Off-World Combat. Solaris will be launching with dedicated servers, multiple arenas, an arsenal of weapons, and customization options for your helmet. We want to continue supporting Solaris Off-World Combat post-game launch. Expect to see Solaris Off-World Combat in 2020, first on the Quest and Rift S.
Coming up next, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners New Orleans for the Oculus Quest, coming out Q3 2020. So, zombie shooters are a dime a dozen on VR platforms, but The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is hoping to stand out with a sharp level of polish and focus on storytelling. Set in the ruins of New Orleans, you take the fight to hordes of gory walkers, managing inventory supplies and securing stealth kills as you go. Archangel developer Skydance Interactive has been working on this for a while, so we have high expectations.
Walking Dead definitely has strong roots in the American South. It's really got this kind of rural American vibe to it. We wanted to maintain some of that cultural heritage, but definitely put a different spin on it and find a place that's like, well, I mean, New Orleans is probably the most unique city in the United States, right?
The resilience of that city, right? Like, we all know it. I think that that's something that we're really trying to explore in terms of, again, the human side of things. The Walking Dead universe is all about resilience as it is, and then you magnify that with a city that has proven extremely resilient over the years.
Coolest things is the levels in general. You'll go through and the environments are beautiful, you know, kind of this disaster-torn area. And you're just navigating through trying to figure out, you know, how do I accomplish my objective, but also this environmental storytelling that's going on in there.
One of the things that we encouraged the environment artists to do was to really think about the space that they're working in, and if it's a room, tell the story of that room. What happened in this room? You know, don't just make it a room that's got some trash around. Do a little bit of environmental storytelling to say, oh, this room was broken into once, it got looted. Somebody may have died in the corner here. All these things. And that, when you walk into a space like that, and you can already put that together in your mind, suddenly the world becomes a lot bigger and it feels a lot more real.
A lot of the player exploration is going to be like looting areas of like the Garden District or the Bywater, and they have buildings and houses, and so building out those houses was pretty fun. I felt almost like a floor planner. There's also just kind of like secret loot stashes. There's some areas where it's harder to get to, like you have to climb a thing to get to it, and that's where like more hidden loot is found.
We're able to take little vignettes throughout the level and do like a wrecked car with, you know, maybe some people were trying to escape and they had an accident. A high school where the whole community is kind of gathered together and things went wrong. You know, telling those kinds of stories.
From its first inception, we were trying to figure out what was going to be a compelling space for the player to kind of have as a home base. We ended up landing on a cemetery because it had nice big high walls. We could kind of explain why there's no walkers in that area. You know, it's a nice defensible place. And so we had this idea for a bus that, since it's a cemetery, it's near a church, so it was going to be a church bus that you have, and you can, and the previous resident has kind of customized the whole thing.
I think also visually and just like musically, just all the atmosphere, it gives it a very unique flair. You know, we get to bring in some of the heart and soul of New Orleans in the music and in the tone of the place. You know, we definitely have a little bit of the sadness and that comes in with a post-apocalyptic setting like that, but we still have all the bright colors of New Orleans. So you're walking around in this devastated area, you still got the tropical trees, and you've got these brightly colored houses, and you can see like what this city was. right? And what the culture was that lived there. So I think it's really a powerful juxtaposition in the universe of The Walking Dead.
So with all the new headsets coming out, guys, I thought we would sort of focus on one this week in particular, and that's the Lynx Headset. The creator, Stallworth-Bey of Lynx Headset, gave a keynote address recently on the headset, and I thought we'd take a look. So let's check it out.
I am very excited to be here. I was there on this stage last year talking about the prototypes I made with my little company at the time. We're a group of 10 people. I'm the youngest one, but the group is very talented. There are some ex-employees of StarVR, and we have been teasing this picture for the last few days on social media. Maybe you've seen it. I wasn't expecting so much response to that. And I'm very happy to share our product today with you, with the community, and where it all started for me, actually 2 years ago at the Odyssey Challenge. So that was last year with the prototypes, and I explained the thing we were doing with a French surgeon. Things are a bit different now, but the product is basically the same. It's a video see-through device for the B2B market and a little bit of the B2C market. So for that, I will let you with a quick video we put together, and you will learn a bit more about the product. Thank you. The first two prototypes are here with me, and you will be able to test the optical system at the booth we have at the exhibit today, and I'm very excited. I was waiting for this day for 3 years now, and I will dive a little bit more into the device and how we put it together and how we're still trying to make it happen. And don't worry, I will get to the price at the end. So those are the key blocks we were addressing, we wanted to address when we were putting the device on the paper 1 year ago. And we partner with incredible companies, including the one of Pablo Benitez, Limback, and also Qualcomm. Standalone device is hard to put all the compute power on your head to do SLAM, to do hand tracking, to do eye tracking, to have a high resolution, high frame rate. And we crammed a lot of pieces of hardware in our device, and we had to keep it very thin. So our optical system helped us do that, actually. We don't use a Fresnel lens or a standard biconvex lens. We use the optical system that Pablo designed, and we enhanced this design a little bit, and I will talk about it. The cool thing about the device is that The battery is at the back of the head, so it's more balanced than, for example, the Quest or the Vive Focus. You can distinguish the pass-through cameras at the front, and I will dive into that a little bit more. But since we're in an optical conference, I will dive into the lens. So this is a video of our lens. I see a lot of people are taking pictures. It will be all on YouTube soon, don't worry. So this is the system we're using for VR, and then for AR we're doing pass-through. So it's not only a lens, it's a full optoelectronic system. On the right here you have the eye tracker, and then you have the lens. So you can clearly see the 4 elements of our lens, and you can distinguish the micro lens at the center, which allows us to hide. It's actually the micro lens is the lens of the CMOS sensors we use for eye tracking. The cool thing with this lens, it's not only about the optical performance we get, it's also about the form factor and the fact that we can hide things right at the center. So we actually have the best point of view for doing eye tracking. So what does an image for this lens looks like on the display? This is the kind of map distortion you will get. This is a chromatic and geometric map distortion you get, and this is a sample image of what is displayed on the screen. So the 4 images are actually combined into one, and the users see only one image, and some pixels at the center are duplicated on the screen. So it allows us to do super sampling at the center of the image and on the 4 borders. So it's very interesting. The screen we are using are 1600 by 1600 LCD panels, and they're running at 90 Hz. So which brings me to the last slide. We're using the Qualcomm XR2 chipset and other kind of hardware blocks for the video pass-through. The only thing I was allowed to say from the Qualcomm marketing was this slide here. The XR2 is an incredible chipset. It allows us to do pretty much everything you need for XR, and we are very happy to partner with them and to build our device with this chipset. It was announced in December, but we've been working with them, I think, for the last 6 months now on the integration of the chipset in our hardware, and we are preparing to be the first device to ship this summer with the XR2 on board. So we continue to move very fast. Remember last year when I was on stage, I had my prototype and I say, in the next 15 months, I will come back with a product, and we are 12 months after that, and the first batch is coming this summer. The AI performance is very interesting. We're doing all kinds of things with that. The eye tracker and the hand tracking system, which is actually the best controller for VR and AR now, is done on the chipsets. And I think 2020 is the year where we finally see the hardware blocks for latency pass-through on a standalone device. Vario achieved that with their product, but it's tethered to a very high energy consuming computer. And we tried to challenge that by cramming the system on the head of the users. It was very, very difficult. And I actually wanted to put the compute board at the back of the head, but with all the high-speed signals and the bandwidth, the cables were too long, actually. During the development of the device, everything bad that could happen actually happened. We're based in Paris, and we had the yellow vest, and we are building our lens in Hong Kong, and there were protests there. It was very, very difficult to work during this time, but we hopefully we didn't have a delay. Okay, so we have this device now, and what can you do with that? Because the content is, the hardware is nothing without the content, and it's the very difficult part for a startup like mine to have a relevant product. I see people taking pictures. So the kind of device we're bringing to the market is fully ready for the B2B market, and every industrial company I talk to, they already have a use case for our device. And I'm very excited to have our first customers try the device on site in April. But also, when you can mix AR and VR with such a large field of view, I kind of want to see new kind of games and new media where you have experiences in VR. You start on a seat and then you can get up and do some pass-through experiences that could be very incredible. And we want to partner with game studios. We are already partnering with a big game company, and you will see amazing stuff coming out this summer. And I want to say the same thing for the medias. And the biggest announcement is the price of the product today. We made a lot of efforts to bring the cost of the device down. And this is the price point we got. So we are targeting the industry, but when you think about it, it's not so far from the price of a high-end iPhone. So I'm very excited for all the hobbyists and some developers and the cool ideas they will explore with this device. You can pre-order today. This video is on YouTube and our website is live now. And you can meet us at the booth. We'll do a press event in 1 hour. Maybe don't come at the booth because it will be a little bit crazy in the next few minutes. But we're very open. We are always looking for partners, especially in optics. Limbach did an incredible job, and we already have our version 2 on the paper. When we will start the development this summer. Also, I want to point out that we have the first prototype ready, and when I want to tell you a little anecdote that when I told you that everything bad could happen, everything happened. We were working on the board and trying to calibrate the optical system of our lens, of our crazy lens that you will try in a few moments. And we were free on the table, working with all these kind of flex cables. Everything was very fragile. And we only had one board at a time, it was 1 month ago. And the table collapsed. Yeah. And so hopefully everything was working fine again, but it was crazy. And I will write a book about the development of this device, trust me. I can't wait to see people try it. And I think the best use cases I've seen today are for surgery and games, but I think the biggest share of the market will be for the industry, especially the use case you see on HoloLens. There are use cases you can address on HoloLens and use cases you can address with the Lynx device or the Vario device. But the Venn diagram is not completely a circle. There are some use cases that you cannot do with HoloLens that you can do with Lynx, especially when you want full color uniformity, when you want a cheaper device, when you want full occlusion, this kind of stuff. The cool thing about the device is there is a peripheral obscuration, but it has the flip-up design as well, and it should fit a lot of people's head. It was very, very difficult to make because we don't have the same firepower as the big companies that are making headsets today. But we'll start shipping this summer for everyone. Thank you.